today. I'm Omale Grace Olayinka and I'm the front-end developer. Okay, so I'm here to teach us how to build a horizontal slider in a very simple way without using animation or CSS grid. Some might not be aware of this process. That's why I'm bringing it to us in a video like this, and I hope it will be of great help to every one of us. So let's get started. I've created my HTML file and my CSS file. So the next thing is just to do the necessary. So I have my doc type, head tag and all. So let me just title this horizontal slider. Horizontal slider. Alright, so and then I'll link my CSS. Okay, so I'll create a universal div that will contain the slider. So I name it super container. Okay, so inside my super container I have a wrapper that wraps the slides. And then inside the wrapper I have slides. Okay, so slides, I want my slides to be like, I want it to be like 5. So I have like 5 slides here. Okay, so that means the horizontal slide will contain 5 elements. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, so the horizontal file will contain 5 elements, and then I come to my CSS and style my body. So I give my body padding of 0, margin of 0, and there is this universal selector. So I'll give it box size and border box. Okay, so moving to my super container, I want to style it in a way that it will look like a phone. You can make it as a desktop, but then I'll just be using this like a phone shape. So I'll start by like super container, and then I give it a width of 25% and a margin of 20 pixel auto. So the auto is to make the div stay at the center, and then I'll give it a background color of E. Okay, so the next thing is I want to give it a box shadow just for it to pop out a bit so that it won't look too flat on the white body background. So I'll give it 0, 3 pixel, 3 pixel. Yeah, give it 0, 10 pixel. That's the blur. I want to be blur 10 pixel. And I give it color RGBA 0.2. Okay, so the next thing is to give it height. I want to have height. So now I want to give it height of 100. You can make the height 100 VH if you want it to take the full height of the viewport of the body. So, but I just want to have a 500 pixel height, and then give it a border radius. Give it a border radius of 10 pixel. Okay, so now if you have to check this in our Chrome, so just check. Yeah, so here we are. We have our container that looks like a phone shape. So now the next thing is to style the wrapper that contains the slides. So that's the next thing to do. So now come here, super container, then the wrapper. Okay, so the wrapper will take a width of 100%. That's taking the 100% width of the super container, and then I'll give it a height of auto, right? So that means it will take the height of its content. So give it a padding top of 20 pixels, and then this is very important. So now I want to give it an overflow of Y hidden. We don't need the overflow of Y showing, so that means we have to keep it hidden. So now we give it overflow Y hidden. So what we need is actually the overflow of X, so that we can scroll. So then we give it overflow X of scroll, and now that's done. And then so the next thing to do now is to style the slides. So I'll give the slides background images. So I'll give the slide background. So I've searched for money, so I'll just copy the image address and then come to my, just give it inline style. I can give it inline styling or use my CSS. So if I want to use my CSS, so I come here, super container and wrapper and slides. I give it height of 120 pixels and then width of 80. So I'm giving a width of 80 because I don't want to take the 100% width of the wrapper. Like there should still be a space at the right hand side to show the next slide. So that's why I give it a width of 80%. So now I'll give it a display of inline block. So the display of inline block means it allows other elements to stay beside it, just like there's still another space, so it allows other elements to stay in that space since there is still other space in front of it. So that's why display inline block is very important. It's just to let the first div to let the second div know that there's still a space for it to stay, so it will go beside the first div. So that's the essence of the display inline block. And then I give it a background image of the URL I've copied, then come here and then I give it a background size of cover, and then let me give it a border radius of 10 pixels. So now let's check what we have here. Okay, so we have our slides arranged in a vertical manner, but then that's not what we want. We want to be arranged in horizontal manner and be able to swipe to the left, to swipe to the right and swipe back to the left to see our images or to see our slides. So now the next thing now is just to give the container containing the slides a white space of no wrap. So what this is doing is that the sequences of white space will collapse into a single white space. Text will never wrap to the next line. So that is the meaning of the white space no wrap. If you give it wrap, then it will still be the same results that we get, but giving it no wrap makes it that the text will never wrap to the next line. It will collapse into the single white space available in front of each of the elements. So that is why the white space no. And then if you now reload, Okay, so my class super container wrapper slide. Oh, I didn't save it. Okay, yeah. So here we have our horizontal slide. Simple, yeah, just the way it is. So now if you want to create space between each of the divs just to make it look good, so you can just give each of the slide a margin left of 15 pixels. The padding, this one I wanted to give it a padding top, sorry. Okay, so I give it a margin left now, and then it shows, yeah. So the spaces, you can see the space, and then this is looking good. But then when we swipe to the end, there's no space. Just at least to make it look good, there's no space. So it's just, we have to start the last child of the slides. We have to start the last child of the slides, and that's when we come here, just copy and paste, and then we put last child and give it margin right of 15 pixels. Alright, so if you save that, yeah, so you can see that it's now looking good and nice. But then there's still another problem. When we are scrolling to the side, we can see the scroll bar. We can see the scroll bar, which we don't want it to be there. We've seen a lot of horizontal slide that actually doesn't have that. In fact, it doesn't really look good on it. So now to remove that, we just come to our wrapper here and just give it the WebKit scroll bar, then give it a display none. So this is indicating the scroll bar. So give it a display none, which remove the scroll bar that we have there. So now our horizontal slide is available. So I see this as a very simple way of creating horizontal slide, and I believe it's very explanatory and easy to learn. I hope this video is helpful. I know some might be aware of this process, and I know some might not be aware, like me, like my former self. I was not aware of this before I found out. So that's why I felt like sharing what I've known. I hope you've gained one or two things from this video, and you can help me like, share and comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can follow me on Instagram at Olayinka2241. Thank you so much. See you next time.